So this video is sponsored by Bityard, a crypto exchange with 9 out of 10 stars by the Coin Bureau guy, 400 cryptos to choose from their spot exchange, derivatives that include commodities, forex and traditional markets, as well as inverse perpetual coin futures, USDT perpetual futures and leveraged tokens. You can even set up a copy trading account so people can copy your trades, you earn commission on those trades, or you can follow other traders who have better results than you. Set an account up with a link in the description and get mystery box bonuses for completing random tasks. Bityard. Hello everybody, welcome back. So a quick video on KCS. KCS, I always call it CKY because, well, it's just my generation. To all of you who are under the age of 30, you probably don't know what I'm talking about there. Right, so let's have a think about what's going on here. So this, on the face of it, looks like a great chart. You know, in a bull run, this was a great chart. It went all the way up, and we did an enormous move. And now what we're doing is coming back down. It's one of the only coins that I've seen recently that have come all the way back up from its capitulation low to its 21 exponential. So this is essentially the center of a Bollinger Band, you know, on a weekly, we're talking here, on a weekly. So that's a decent move. That was about a 90% move from the bottom to the top. But I have a feeling now, looking at it now, that it could be maybe a dead cat bounce, unless of course we reclaim this, and then obviously this could go off to the races. Given the market environment at the moment, it seems relatively unlikely, but anything's possible. Anything is possible. Now I'm, as you're aware, looking to start a new bot trading journey. 2020 I did bot trading, and the idea was, you know, just to see where it went. Really, I started with $1,000. 4 months later, ended up with $50,000. It was a stroke of luck, but there was a strategy involved, and the idea was I'm going to accumulate loads of BNB in the hope that it reaches $100. And obviously it did that, and plus some. I was getting about 2 to 3 BNB a day with my bot trades for the most part. And yeah, so it worked out pretty well. So I'm looking to recreate that kind of vibe in a similar, although obviously a bit more downside market. So that $1,000, I'm not expecting to stay $1,000 for long. Could easily go down to 8, 6, 400, whatever. The idea is I'm trying to accumulate as many CKS as possible. KCS, I did it against it. CKS, CKY, KCS, KCS. Trying to accumulate as many of these as possible for what I believe is going to be a decent chart long term. Considering what KuCoin is, seems reasonably popular. People leaving Binance, it seems to be taking up a lot more volume. I looked at the volume, definitely picked up over the last year, and it still remains reasonably good considering where it was in the past. They've got their chain as well, so they're trying to basically do what Binance Coin did, and they probably will succeed to an extent. So it's got a projection of its own outside of the fact it's just a utility exchange token, right? But being an exchange token in itself is pretty good, and it suits bot trading as well. So we can think about, you know, what we could do here for bot trading. What kind of pairs does KCS have? And we can see that there's quite a lot of pairs. You want them to be on this side, on the right hand side. You need them to be a quote currency rather than a base currency, because if I'm correct in what I'm thinking about, this dead cat bounce will lead to further downside, and it's still in the midst of consolidation. Other coins will be able to outperform it, and that's what you want. You want a coin that you're trading against, at least in the short term while your bot is on, to be not as strong as the base currency. And from what I can see, a lot of these are actually, they're picking up like that. So where am I going to buy it from? Because if I'm expecting this to go down, how deep is it going to go? And, you know, wouldn't it not be the best just to buy it at low price? Well, of course, if you're a spot trader, you want to have the best of both worlds. But if you want to do bots, you do have to bite the bullet and get in at some point. Now, I don't often do fib retracements, but I do play with them occasionally. And if we have a look at this from body to body rather than wick to wick, we do see that there is some relevance to this level around here, which is effectively about $15 or a little less, about $14 and 70 cents. And so we get rid of the fibs for now because it's served its purpose. We can just have a nice horizontal in here. So this would be an obvious area for the first area of that your first buy order, or my first buy order. You guys do what you want. This is my plan really. My first buy order is only a little bit away from where we're at right now. Not massive, not enormous, but I need to get some skin in the game. Otherwise, these bots they're not going to start themselves. I need to have some skin in the game. So it's an 8% drop I'm looking for, down to about $14.80 or thereabouts, corresponding with these tops and these bottoms, and obviously the fib from body to body. I don't expect it to stay there. It could easily break down. It could easily bounce from there. This is in the midst of a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. I would expect it to go lower. But again, a lower or a declining KCS versus other altcoins which decline at a slower rate is going to benefit the bots, and I will be able to accumulate this. So I hope you understand what it is that I'm looking to do here. It might not suit most people, but recognize that I've done it before. I worked this bot situation in a similar environment with bots, so in a similar environment with altcoins in 2020. I'll give you an example here actually. So this is your Bitcoin dominance chart. I started my bot journey in around November 2020, and here we are around November here, and this is your Bitcoin dominance going all the way up to the moon. So throughout this period, altcoins were basically getting wrecked. They had their sats drained from them. Obviously, I was happy just to sit in a Bitcoin position, waiting for a grander rotation for a spot position, which is obviously where a lot of money got made as well. But throughout this period, I thought, okay, alts are trading next to they're just not doing much until, of course, you look at altcoin to altcoin charts, and then actually they're very tradable and they suit bots very well. So for a 3-month period, as this was playing out, I was trading bots, and the bots were, like I say, were making me about 2 or 3 BNB a day profit. And then lo and behold, we finally found a peak, a giant rotation, and BNB went to the moon, it went to Saturn, all the way up Uranus. And all that profit that I've been making in the form of BNB obviously went from what, 30, an average of about 35. So it was between 25 and about 40 for the most part of my bot trading situation. So we'll give it a rough idea of I was making about $70 to $100 a day bots by the end, before it started to really rocket up in the BNB value. And then obviously it went to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and obviously it made a lot of money. So it didn't take long for the profits to just go exponential, basically. So I'm looking to do that again, and thinking about where we are for the Bitcoin dominance chart. Very much like I've been saying for this whole time as we've been down here, inevitably this is going to go up. Bitcoin will outperform altcoins with a chart like this. We are looking for a micro rotation now, but the bigger rotation will be at a much larger area, and this is why, of course, I'm trying to accumulate, or planning to accumulate, as many of those KCS as possible. If you can understand what this meant, while altcoins were very good to trade against each other in bots throughout this period, I think we're going to be looking for the same again. So we might get a little rotation now, and we'll be heading up to around 58, maybe even 60 or so dominance before we get a rejection. That's going to give us all this time to accumulate however you want, whether you're dollar cost averaging or bot trading is what I'm saying. It's going to give us all this time to accumulate KCS. And by the time the rotation is ready, all that KCS will be sat, accumulated bot profit, and ready to go up in value on its own. It's a long-term plan. This is how the 1,000 turned to 50,000. Yeah, I was making $100 a day, sometimes $70 to $100 a day in bot profit. Yeah, that was good, but then if you think about what happened to that, it effectively 10x'd. So that $100 a day ended up effectively becoming $1,000 a day by the time BNB had reached its peak. That's how this works. That's the plan. That's why I'm doing it again, and that's why it would suit in many ways this environment. As Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoins get wrecked. Doesn't matter the value. All it matters is, can you trade those charts on a bot? And I think you can. It's not going to be easy. There is a strategy. There is a technique to it. It does require some maintenance. It's not as easy as pressing go and letting the bot do its business. But there is a technique to it. And if I can accumulate, let's just say on a weekly basis, in this market right now, if I could accumulate 2 or 3 KCS a week over a period of 4 or 5 or 6 months, that's pretty decent. And all I'm looking to do is ride that to the next major rejection on the dominance chart, maybe up at 60, maybe a little lower, where the big alt season comes and KCS runs from whatever value it is to 50, 100, or whatever dollars it goes at its peak. I'll be riding all those extra KCS all the way to the moon and all the way up Uranus. But for the moment, it's not going to feel like that. You might feel like something's going up Uranus, but it's not going to be pleasant in the short term. Remember, there has to be a plan. You can't just blindly trade. You have to have a plan. That's why I'm only doing $1,000, just to prove that it can be done. People will be watching this and going, you're not going to succeed. I woke up yesterday and it was down again and blah, blah, blah. Look, if you can't see the plan that I'm trying to achieve, I suggest you watch the videos that I did previously, which was around November 2020, and understand how that worked out very well. I'm looking to do the same kind of thing at the moment, and I expect it to work out well again, but it will take months for the end goal to come to fruition. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Rambled long enough. So I think KCS is going to be my coin of choice. I've got my first buy order in at this particular level. Corresponds to fibs and a horizontal. It's definitely not the absolute low, but I've got to have some skin in the game. I've got $500 of my 1,000 going to be here. The next $500 might go into this, or it might go into Ethereum to do Ethereum bots as well. I'll leave it with you there, guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.